Well, good evening to you wherever you are in this world. We're really pleased to come back to you again. You are live on Fire One.
O my baby, I be a man, yes, we agree, yes, so my Ghana, yes, you bet to me, I am an aye. O my bitty say Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, China, Dubai, any of my old be a power, yes, and one more mentioned in Mania Auto. Nina say, Mommy and Nina, come away. No be any or beba or my Ghana, my I just say any
Well, I sure hope you all had a very good week. We're back again. You're live on Fire One on the show The Truth Matters. It's been a really long, stressful week with the burial of the former president. Jerry John Rawlings in Ghana. They had a really long week with the funeral and memorial service and everything. Today we really dedicating this show basically to his memory, what he would have want Ghana to be and his plans for the future for the country. Stay with us. We have a lot to talk about today.
Ghana man penny when you penny for a man many now sorry waka. Na yesu o mai mwe ni enya kopon fa ho mobro o mai mobo no ma menya huto braye we ba kwa ne bo o ka bo mo mudo Ghana mai yenyina ye ba kwa ne yo asafara disha disika papa na ye wo my Ghana adofo mo my yanka mo bo na ye nyauto ye ka mo Ghana be nyauto ye ka mo bo ni nyauto aradi shega disika yo my Ghana ni friend of Bocos ye mo my yanka mo bo ni nyauto ye ka mo Ghana be nyauto ye ka mo bo ni nyauto ye wo don na yo ka bo mo na yo yeah, oh my Ghana, me Ghana, you are approaching now.
Well, ye kamboma ɔman no benya hoto nipa wo mu nyina benya sumdwe enkambom na eye emre du ye obra bi di ne ho si ho emo ɔman Ghana ɔman no ho dɔ ayeda na koma so ne nukwaredi enti ankohwe ne nkwa ekura wo mu sa time no banyame ama ho kwan isan botaya na nyame ewo de ma no ma ɔman no ɔde ne ho si ho bɔ afɔre ebeye adwuma bebre de bɔ ɔman no yɛbɛhwɛ bebi ɔman no efiri ni bebi aba abedu sisemre ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ma minu ebema abemu na mama na kwaba na yɛde dwumadi no ahyehyɛ so. Hello Sly.
Skana bokode.
Nyame adom.
Ede nyame ase. Na otwi de na aye obese ya bebu odie na aye arebo. Na so ade nyina mu ye de ase ma nyame. Se o ma no eba no sa nipa nti ase baton do ti ase. And you know wo dwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendwendw Into no, yeah, more, yɛnna awurade ase ɛwɔ neɛ na wɔtwe akɔ so nyinaa wɔm sɛ yɛ ɔbrɛ ɛne awerɛhoɔ ne sum nanso yɛde ase daa bɛma nyame
nokorɛ yɛmabusua nyinaa ne ghana ma nyinaa yɛakɔ sɛ nyame adoma matumi akora ɔman de hyia yi n'akyi na biribiara yɛ asomdwee yɛbɛhwɛ videos bi ɛyɛ yɛ no mu recap of it if in nyame ma ho kwan afa yɛwa yɛabɛhyia nti yɛde bi ɛbɛkyerɛ yɛahwɛfoɔ ne yɛtiefoɔ wowɔ radio ne so no a yɛbɛserɛ sɛ wobɛ joining in also on YouTube for your one or on Facebook yɛbɔ both live ɛwɔ hɔ no mu wobɛtune in na wo nso wahwɛ nea ɛkɔɔ so ɛwɔ Ghana na wɔtwi a ɛtwa mu
Sumbie, Mr. Ya kwa sumwache. Ebinu ya na ye ti emilia. Mama ya momo de na ye hye mande ye. Ye emilia no monya meta ye ti o. Ene me mo sisi ta ye ti o. Onya me ba kwa ya ma na ye o. Ye emilia no Ghana mebune. Ye emilia no Ghana penny fue. Ye o ma penny ni penny fue. Na no ye fue mo sare mo ye. Sikani enyansa ni enkanchera dese eradi yasewo moye mobo
asampa etia obanyansa fuso wo bunye wonka na asam te mafutu sam kakre wa asopeme yo kofi oman ya woman oman ya mama na enyi baby ako wacha za ya wareni wonsom wanyinyi pa asade pa wo fe oye ya mo yembera ye ebe ya ifuna oman ya woman o oman ya mama
to the Accra International Conference Center, where we're still observing the day 3 of the funeral of the former president of the Republic of Ghana, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. But before we take you through this afternoon's program, let's watch these pictures of activities that happened at the conference center today.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run.
Welcome back to the Accra International Conference Center, day 3 of the funeral of former President Jerry John Rawlings. From the morning, we have seen the filing past of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana and the First Lady, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Rebecca Akufo-Addo. We've also seen the Vice President and the Second Lady, that is Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and John Ajekum Kufuor in an electronic wheelchair. And then we saw also the former President John Dramani Mahama and wife Lodina Mahama also filing past the remains of the former President of the Republic of Ghana, Jerry John Rawlings. Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. The activity is about observing and really living the very example of beautiful life of ex-president Jerry John Rawlings. We had discussions with a couple of people talking about him, those who have worked with him. And most of the people we had spoken to are people that really lived with former President Rawlings in his activities at home. This afternoon, I have the privilege of being in the studio with Ambassador Patrick Hayford, High Commissioner of Ghana to South Africa 1997 to 1999, Director for Africa Executive Office of the United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan from 1999 to 2005.
Well, so that was the first day in observance for the former president as he laid in state. Most people went over to pay their last tribute to him before he was buried on Thursday. It has really been a tough week for Ghanaians. A real tough week for each and every individual, as he will be really dearly missed. But I sure pray and hope that his legacy will still move on, will be carried on, that people will do whatever they're doing in his remembrance, as he envisioned this country being the light of Africa, leading Africans in liberation, in freedom, bringing good things to that continent. Well, Sly. Baby na akoso. May you be play some of tributes and Yuri Atroye and Makanye, the sitting president and so dear no so can be play be may present the show really focus on remembrance, and we'll also show and talk about some of the things, the dream, the vision he had for the country, for the people. He was a people lover. He loved that country and loved the people. Trying to teach them to do the right thing, and just looking at how far this country has come, and hoping some things would have been better. But he always visioned Ghana to go forward. But it seems like Yellinger, I don't even know where we're going, if we're going forward or backwards.
Ghana situation, maybe free AFRC, Sadiba, PNDC, Ediba NDC, MPP by NDC by MPP Asaba Bimwa. Scana, Usha Jumedia, ya Papa J. Nam, ya Papa no my tattoo, Koduchika Tanom ne. Bunch of phone ne majors nunumen sanum ne wana ska ono mutu anamo awo infra free and AFRC no na butayenti a sabe aban tuo abamu na omobefa akonya no edi so ne eja to ho de ma ye papa limam na fe actually who said Jumadi no Sanya Capessa Mano Esikono and Conisa. Na was a baby na fe obediswa copim 91 na fe 1991 hono afedi about say 92 no you call Kabima min Kabi amemo na Ghana Sakato Ababi wonya ekọ no plane so afi 2000 the coach na the kwa mjiemu fie aduonu ntem no awrade afre no a na yemusa ho se butaya ma sa na montu no eba so no ene ya no kasai yetimi achieve ana se yetimi maintain anaze se kura de agency mo kura
ese nuna mehwe na medwe ho a ye beka ho asem cause bebre ho a ase anamo 2 year no eso aba mfaso anase so emba mfaso se kebime min kebia mamo no ode bantem ana nanka ne bibi ho wosanka wo so ye mo minance wa ansa nanka o mako into that
Scana me can say Ebenifo si do twa se onim se ne chiachia na de wo sua o kasa no sebe o ma ho ne bo na de tiene se yetimi kase abantugo no a esi ye no efiri 72 eba be 22 de ba 92 ansa na ye ko kabima me nkabia mamu ska nipa bi firimu nipa bi enkwa efirimu ebi sudafo ana Major Juniors ana ọmakọ ahomegye mu ebe su ya judge for na nke sabere no ebi mu free se omu nka bi ma wo mu ana se omu ni omu amafa ntino yi omu free akwan ni mu a akwan no be ye tin ama wo ska mo je hwegu bere koso edi enti ena ma ne koso ama ne koso ene se 1 na ofiri se nipa bi atena aban afa aban sika atena so 2 nipa bi ananka wo noma bi asese wo tonti se sade ni asichire ni mereche ene obese Tom Brown ni Rita Nake na nipa bi atena so de egu omodan mu a ebo a wope ene ogigi ebi so no sai entuma na obi ntuma de akogu bebi ntuma asanka eto no 1 cedi a ubefa kumasi jom nyira wuje binto ono nkwa na obi waso 10 series ubeto ata won to akokuru eni nti wo so o ma honda mpanti no asese wo to bi na kata so enti bi free se botaya e ma sa abantugo no eni se de be ya economy no ebeye se anya hwekura ebi benya adwani adi o mani mu enkoye monopoly enjoyment se nipa ba to bi no nko awa ade enti di ope ene woye sabotaye ni bi ene de ba ni bu sase successful initial stage no ska na school for ne sabe eba ni say ya wona aye mobrofo ne na be se sabe ye di ehu bajimu na ona o ska ne de nam so ono opese odimre no na wokaso ni nti no won penisa but uhwese na ni sikona let the blood flow enti wona no yesa no samne ni mu no ne ye chiwa na ebibakọ widiem na ya ma wedi ate nka se ade a we ye no enye na so ye mu se ska enya dia sebe me kan se nipa firi mu no na ene kwan so no ana se mo je hwegu na ene kwan so no na so ska ye say we maybe bia ni wa se bitafra che ya tu abangu a eya asundie nipa bi anu a watu abangu a se bitafra che omma bi enkonsedo omma nipa bi enkonsedo na omma nipa bi koso ensedo a duomu no ni nyina na nipa nyina na sebe support de wo ka anade wo ye soja ban ba ska de wo nipa bi wo ho asebe ye di anisi won so a de yi omu firi kwan mu se wo kasa baako ana wo kasa bienu na wo kasa baako a na no na anya adwene ska wo besie ade be chie no na wato anana no na ni nyina mu no mimbu sasa yembu se ye ho se efiri 72 82 72 79 82 eba bepem na me no kase ska yetimi achieve ye goal da se cry there ska aginsemo because we share those days yes minister we da come you know you say se come you need there o de ye den ada so de ba ko beba ana be ko mfie eso ne MP eba se cry o mo free so meti ye say ye amoje ayi 600,000 Ghana. Say 6 billion Ghana cedis no es gracia. Enfie nayo. Es gracia no. Na ne yemu say won sesa ka 72 a. Teacher for Christ okodo.
Na nature say ni vision and ni dream ni say nipa probi omudi ediye na ebilim so eti ahokyere no hiamu na ne dream na nka obema ehiafo ni iskafo nyina ye like hand in hand me got some pepe dey because nipa ne bi o ha sebi omo pe adwuma ma me kan sa so no what are you doing to them no omo enye productive but say ahoto be ma ebeba ma obi aho ato no that dream no otumi achieve ye ana we ntumi achieve
ska initial stage, sɛdeɛ na school for ne temamufoɔ no bi boa ma ɔmo dokua wohwɛ a kuayɛ yɛ adeɛ a na ɛyɛ ne biggest ipa because na wɔ free sɛ nka kuayɛ no dɔso a nka aduane bɛtena ɔman no mu enti no wohwɛ no baabi a ɔna kura sɔ ne sika na wɔdɔ wɔna free sɛ ɛkwa bi wɔ hɔ a na nka bɛma amannenefoɔ aba na nkɔmɔ bɛyi ama ɛte sɛ railway kwan ene ekwan a ye cars fa so nyina akyi no na wɔboa na wɔna kasa ɛwɔ abɔnten so a 1 2 3 1 2 3 wonso asafomai wonso mo na agya ye de kɔ infiti asɛnde na ye nemom no ska ɛkɔmu hɔ ba bi no na afei botaye no ɛsesa ɛde ne ma botaye ne sesa ye no na afei nipa kunkum no ɛya adoso ebi wo ho a omo yira ya bepim ne kra ya hu omo chiri kwan omo bushafo ni bi free se bi kra omo kaka akwantum ebi mu so free se bi a omo akobom ho adwa bi omo pese dipa abeche omo ka ebi so free se yaku omo me ne enam no ka se ebi wo ho kra na bushe ni bi kra wo hu na yemu se hu se sabotaye no de vitia se na kaye na so ska ebi so che ekwa wiye no anya dia etimi twa yie na wohwe oja tu huma ye papa lima baaye na wosa bitu nugu ye no na enya dia me free say sabotage ni timi achibu
na ne sa ne yenhwe say na nipa kunkum no ono na authorize ma nipa kunkum ne koso ana say ne hufuo ni bi na ehye no
Sky na me kan sem bi se aba bi ba na dwumadi bi koso ne papa mu ne body mu ye nka ne ministers ho asem ana ye nka MP ho asem ye ka aba ne ho asem se mi fa ne se basaba se yi bi si o maga na ye nka se MPP aba ye si Akufo Addo aban sa na nipa no no na mentimi ensinipi nka se na ewo no ana say ye nanso enam say na ono ni des dada no ono ni ye chairman na nipa bi a sabe ankoye stimamufo keke nemum eyi nipa titru nipa titru ni bi ti say wona wo ye judges retired army commanders major generals na sata mu hono ebi a na nipa bi free say there will be a threat to him because samre mu hono na ewo aban ni mu constitution ni mu say obi a wotu aban gu bia wu na sese wu na wotu aban bia gu nti wan kasa no ade na wo kwa un the consequences nti se menim say me ade amaye wuska ani nipa ko a woni nipa obetimi atwema so a abra menya tumi ni de azese me yi free ho se ne be ya wo a no be din ade match ko ba bi eni kwa se be kono ana me mpese be kono de azese me yi free kwan nti ebi wo ho a betimi ka se wonim hu bi because uti adansi akoso through National Reconciliation Council no announce committee na is set this platform na ska adansi bibli koso ebi say ayo no ne ya papa Kodweti Kata ena musuma nkofo bi major generals bi mam ko yes adwumadi wona wo ko yes na ade ba ko a na ha adwen say nipa mienu a omu sa judges no and they were they were called leaders no omu nyina yibusa say sa order ne free him ye fa ne seska me ne wo na eye program say na say program yachi ya ka asem bi na say asem no mikotu hu anamo na sa na mo no entwa ye na eba na esese be ye bumaten na eye wuomu na eba na wo kase wuska unim hu bi san se me ne wo kra ka ho asem na ka na ye ka ye no ya nkasa mi mpo ye sa na mom yesusu hu se ye nya ye be sa tenio aya agamienu ya ka se ye nya ye be sa na mom ye ka ye no ya nkasa me nkonko ye sa oh de becha no nti in the way no wo ho adwene na adwene na awo no kire se ye ka ho asem demo no ka ye ka ya kan si se me na me nkonko ye anasa ka ho asem ya ka se ye bi nyina no ye be pa akoye na ebu yesusu ho na yesusu ho nei na achina ska sa asem ni esi anasa ade a ye ka ho asem no edadia sabe pero fosse assim dia sabe no cora kakra bem ewu nti se obeka se we be wonimu bi kra de ska mu ohwe
Olim, your man in Abu when you actually travel. I don't be penning because it's so many people. I say, yen near Tete, or yen papa, yen paboni, nipakum, for mubunukum, for mujashiago, and all of those things near Mam can find a home. And man, Kolani be our moon, you know, like in the family or more muluso this year through that time, Lina, Ebe, Tino. But you heard any many be a while, yeah, come a person, Belk of any free in chroma pencil. Say time and a British new home really on mine. Oh, is it a good thing? Say, oh, Muja of mine, ma, a bit before so ma and home mine swana.
Sky, it was a good thing. But the bad thing is that you walk out of the system. Yeah. Look at this. How long? And the white no South Africa. Okay. I be my South Africa. Meaning South Africa part. Meaning a lot of South Africa. What it is in this scar? Omo ma abrofone tra. Abrofone tra no. Omo establishing no ma bibiri. Nelson Mandela buy no. Tiba mufoni bi bufu no. Because they come free say Mandela buy no. And come walk out.
Oh.
But here's the case, sir. A lot of white people know a more project over. And then some of the projects now no more family no maybe they have the connection with the international businesses or international some of the foreign countries. It is how many people so me first or Irish. Me first say people from Portugal, me first say people from Netherlands because some of the South African states all the states have different colonial countries.
Yeah.
Like Victoria, like Durban, or all of them. It is a Victoria. Or your business takum. If you have the links in the world, the Portugal. Now also one part. What the business is called Portugal?
Oh yeah.
What I say? But here's the case. So many times, business now 1 year between the South Africa and the Portugal, or the Euros need back to Portugal, and that person is still in South Africa. That was a good thing. But yeah, yeti ya benefo na say ekodu baby because na oya no doso na atete ne doso na say ya papa nkruma any the big six no eya adwen say ya be ma brofo no osibo isa ko de wa menem wo mo nkodo mo menem na say ya kasa ti say ya papa nkruma kasa mo say na dipatuntu otumi say odi na bra boss no hye na bra boss say ye open na ye pa baska ye mun se nipa bienu anabro so amiensa etimi tu na monche nipa bienu etimi na nteche pa miensa etimi na nte koduru baby but baby beduru no etoda ba ko be nanso
say edidi jano na ma nanso ne right
akwa nanso na ba kwa kachi na mienu no aya adwena mutimi koche Na ko ye sia dia ska enche.
Now it's a more trouble, right?
And
Times the trouble.
And the two. Yeah. Ska program ye asma ye kai. Wadwonko. Ebia do beka na ni mitrim. Ye beka na ni mitrim.
Yeah, no correct.
Then so ye betimi aye susuye bi na yakwa bankurum.
Yeah.
We can agree on something. And your cousin say we just disagree to agree.
Yeah.
But when we come to politics, when we disagree forever. That is politics.
Nothing changes there, right?
Nothing changes. Why? Because me person me jinim, also person jinim. I want people to credit me, and you want people to credit you. And the bayana bibaka say me slide, me na me this idea we buy idea. Ska say me wo tu me wo so ncha wa otwu mutan. You be kan emfa enko babia. As I said, me ma dwene ni minsusuye no. E na be pese e dirty. The nipa dabi ni ho a obi aka say oh pen we say slide the buy. It is a me wo fa ase ana me nan dabi ana me na cancel bi kwa oh wo pen we say oh me na emire bi say Ghana on the buy. Say the bidi be den e be ka. Ya papa nkroma ani suade hunu. Na ye mfo sunko na ye nanso enum na aka no na mo ne nya adwe na ke papa nkruma ye mu a nka Africa nyina obi enya fa ho bi
na ono na memomo na isa yikululu no be mu na so na keta se share ni skedie bi e wo no so afa na ono no so ska no pushi e ma other African countries ntina na mo ne nya adwe.
Je tiemi ska na ya papa pese nkruma pese nka abibema nyina wodi so. Na ya hwe ni sei. Hwe ska amai bi wo abibema mu a enye ska ubenya udimi ni wo so. Because that people or that nation are from creation. That nations no, they are from creation. It's so hard. So omo bi do amoso. Because ka uko Trobia mu a, uko Quran mu a, uko Bible mu a, uko Buddhism mu a, uko ya. Baby ebo nyina ebo Misrim asase so. Egypt asase. There was the uko Bible baby they were one of the powerful cities in the world. Oko Ethiopia, they are one of the powerful cities in the world. Sanko for the no. Even almost said the corona master so. Say Britain for be dear so I say a console by a coma buene. Yes, you see a computer, we nya a cromia qua still. Yes, a computer, yes, a pia can say, you now know some yourself, Manu Susuna, so say Ghana ya yare phone na ma yesi na so ko mu jaye ipiopi na ka tete e me mapa na so na ma ya yesi de na
eno no mimi hu ni sa o se me de mandwen ni se timemufo na no ma show omo konsa why no why because ye to me am I you enye you na ye de bi nye ye de bi na skedie nti no ade enye kra na ya fo aso se eye
Skama mingusu asemo. Mingusu asemo.
Sure.
America hana wo mebwa.
Yeah.
Okay. American reserve, financial reserve, money reserve, gold reserve, petrol reserve. Ewa hefa.
Ewa America.
So many bisa na adisiri no.
Ewa America hey lucro for us.
Okay. Mate. America sika you can't hefa.
America hey you go try no
be mba. Ente den na Ghana ko sika da isi kutwa na. Ade say yesi ye betwa na.
Because no na abrofo no dey share Africa so. Why? Because someone say omu jai mu a yen jai mu mponi o. Yen fa ni say yen jai mu mponi. Na ye jai mu de a ene mu amu bekunkum ho. Why? Because the greed. Mami Kasari, the greed of an African or of a black person, it will never go away. Why? Because opese me nkwana me menimu mbrenyam na afufro enkoto me.
menko na minye sika na memfa afoforo nye nkoa say yemfa ne say slavery course to Africa in the 1800s, the 1600s, whatever year it's been before till now, and I'm before I travel yasi baby ana. This time you can make me friend modern slavery. You find new this time yani edi humba. You bush you for Antoine. But yana no mono. Eton omo adishie. Emma brofono. Send them away to be slaves. In exchange of what? In exchange of booze and salt.
Ska. I mean, that's the way. Tabia, you can't edit that day. You can't edit that. I can't say maybe and film you know a term. My name, a catan nibi, to nibi or hasi. You didn't come over some semi free. Make us some free Ghana. Ska, I felt question with the dear or the dear.
Someone I'm on a tom.
Yeah, Toye. Ska, what? Okay, say your toy. I mean, no one yagging.
So,
okay.
Almost for free.
Scott, you're Toyo. You're fire. You're fire. Somewhat.
For free?
Manusu. Yes.
But, I mean, why? Because untumin ko be cross enko fanipa without a handful, and now be or what minimum, not knowing or being part of it. That won't happen anywhere.
Scamanimus was a more. Asante Kingdom, Omo ya brofune de ya brofune ne start konye. What did they do to them? Did they invited them into their land to fight?
No.
Okay. Prepare or you there you fa prepare to the exile.
There is more.
What is he say prepare the Queen Elizabeth at them? What a bizarre.
No.
Then you be fa no exile.
The moment Opese will stand against what they are doing, that is when they will come for you.
And what did they do? What did their job? Omo mission in our land and the Senska.
Some it's kind of war. Internet discovery, is what say you make say you discover United States assassin. Internet almost sorry. They like to explore. They go on exploration to discover things. And to discovery no ba asase anko bi nimuso unkwa na wote wa na semeka se nipa kuo kakra bi no eti ho. Ebia ne ene yenhwe mining issues ekoso wo Ghana. So bi wo bi fini kro mu ba. Now wa mbesi obi so na se wate se kro no wa ha ukra map kra na obi anso ne nsanfa na nkwa yetimamuni a onu abetumi aba no wode ne ndade akwa akwahye nwure mu se memane. See, so that is the same thing we're talking about in the time of old when slavery happened. It's the same.
Sure. Ska bebre yedi tuo ene huru ye. Bebre. Oh yeah, ska.
Na setiche na ebi before no wo ne omo so de kwako. Ntina ne
they had warriors, but they will capture prominent person in the community.
So meaning they trade like in a hostage
yes.
a bargain. So they trade their people for one prominent person.
Ska
I think this will be a whole show, and it will be a show whereby we will ask the audience to, or the viewers and listeners to come in and tell us their views, because this needs to be talked about. To me, yes, show with topic and say abrofunu by the Bible abedada and this and to say me anga say Ghana kra no omusum all like Africa no omusum nyame kra saying obroni ono de the Bible ne buy. That is what I will say.
Oh yeah, say credit scan who dey buy app bia obi decide name you say offend the symbol. Say abrofunu yam dia symbol. Bible said there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And Bakubia it says do you bonino bonina ni bekuno. It's only app bia say we are bonibia bonini and one say app normal download number of bonnet Ejamamo, Nipekun, Chronobo, Guy Bonnie Baby. Na nti se bia ko wi obi abia na ko app no mo so ska aponchi no ko wi ska aponchi nti ska aponchi no $20 na wa donate that $20 no nyame do bon ya cho
who donate am where
I saw before I have it on my phone right now.
That means say corruption is so no yaba yamisumu. Now you're like buying your way to heaven, right?
Sese nyame e de adoma ba sese no nyame adoma odi aba no you don't have to oya body with my body bi ape the here say o app na wa download
ina what you sika
it's can you and I'm going to aso before
and with our busy lives people don't have time to pay for evil deeds
okay
the old fashioned way.
Let me
we will talk about that because we know I am quite interested in the things that are happening. Which you know in the Bible no nyame asem say it's anyoma we besisi.
Oh yeah.
Answer.
Oh yeah.
Ewie na ye aba.
Yeah.
And nyoma esisi sese ni nyina edu hu adanse say enche. Well,
on a more serious note, yeah, let's go back to the topic where they are say kakra. But Skauka, yeah, Papa J, Jumedi and Montono. In fact, coming from Nkrumah town, Eba, the big six, a free fan no, a champion no, and Eba, Ska, all of them, all of them. About to be able to be Omo Bishi was one. The biggest one is corruption. Obia corruption. Obia corruption.
Now were they able
Obia corruption. Escape background on me a corrupt guy change anything.
Oh dear, you go back now. You go here. You go back to your papa. You know, na ya he asante hene ne ne chidan for a moment so the day 3 of the morning almost so ebeye or ya chombe or ya papa ase we pese ye hwe
Chuba ko to su mi nu aye kuma hene yo 2 for 2 no mo be si na nai na bono na se ase Samijina namijina mo ti kokko so otumfo se tutu abebi o ko bi asante kotoko hene o se ba no na si o da de benkum so no ampa abusia ile ne ma na no di animu me ba se no otumfo bu ni sane ne na si kapem otumfo ma be ba ya o se bal masafo atwubu akodua onsa aye snap Pantu mienu whiskey strada wasije na fe twasa fie sana busia di atomani yere ne ma osomo di shop adaka baako na ye pantu sia whiskey pantu osomo ni no fe twasa fie otumfo se da odna sinisiti no ti man ko dan samanja ya to ma me ba ya ntuba fufuro bo yue kente ya odba kata no so no na na madaruma ne busia bigina ha na mani no bedamasi
ko biye kuna utekura ha nui na kura ko biye kuna utekura ha sen na gumbo ni ye una mania engineer tapokwe ya una mania obimro aye wo brego san brego na ede aye wo brego san brego na ede aye wo brego misri ko na yo e yo brefo me na mantia yesi mabu ana ko fele e una mania obimro ebo wo ko befu ana ni enyawo na mo ku ya sanfu wo ko befu ana we nyamio na mo ku ya sanfu wo ko befu ana ye obi ewu ana ye obi ewu ye no obi ewu no bi no ebo ana ye obi ewu pa bo ana ye obi ewu
that was Nana Osei Tutu and the Ashantis paying homage on the third day in mourning of the former president, the late Jerry John Rawlings. In discussion, you say, Union for a railway say, Omo Amma, Omo and take charge of a year no, na yanko see omo dishie no, a woman crum. But minimum so say, your papa na or ye or mine a japadie. Enti se penyi bisa twa oman no na wo se wo ye na yie na wo pene krabia despite ebusuo free mu baby ofi baby ene ahinsie ni de baby bebre esisi ni hene eti san kanade na de share kronkron no one the mu no na other community no so one de aka minim baby e wo san ke be de besie ni wo. But for it to be fair, for it to be so oye oman ejapade enti no ti oman ne wo say eye no irrespective of where enete abemu and time of the person and time of ne yo question me wo ho slide person discussing say adai na be before ye do efunu esen atiasefo
eska enya bi before nko a chese kroma kra no ska obi wu na se kakra ni ho a na kakra ni fie dia ye jansa atise dia sebe ye kremoni bi afri mu a ye ne kwasiye no obati sese nyom ne kontem wa ne ska kakra ni bo la na che ye fa no kwashe ni kwa adwuma ba se ska wo ho kakra beti la na no che se ye twinya kakra sanete eye ska mi fi se eye kasa anase eye nidie sebe ye friend bonika sebe kan say the last respect obi free mu a nka amamre mu kura no se ka titi no se obi ebe free mu a titi na ka na nam emene bo no ebi o ha was mame enum mame nsia mame miensa enti wa febo baako wa femienu wa femiensa aka baako a before say ofia na kwada ne bonkum so no ona sebe opeso wo kwa asundie no mpo no otimi mieto nsakra fe na tamfo eba na de make amend ana say e fe na tamfo ba na ono omo ye de echa wa asundie mu de wafom no osebo no fa frichin nchen de ebi a wafa ne bibi no otimi de na de ma no ebi a mohumpo de na sesenka wo che no o ma na panchire bi no otimi yesa ebi so okra na nka sebe wote ase nyina wo ya busua na bro kese pa me fa se ebusua no gold na ko de akwhye kwa bi kwa ye betu odua bi ase abro no ba yenti yesi be bi eti santase na wakire se ska meti ase no maye mabro me na no majapade agudi ede ma me no monko nsuo we ho monko dua we ho wakire mo hane na bia wo se medugo da hye ho ti wo kututu na hu a wa fure krom ho se bia bosum bi ana panifo ba ma ya manye no watimi ayisu nti na eyade a omo ye se de nipa no ebekọ asubie mu nti egese ye dofuru na mu eyade a obi a se de oche ne do ede che nipa no emera odi ko as odi to anana no monse.
But I mean say we no mu invite you bia so they also could have come and done theirs right there whilst he was laying in state. Why couldn't they do that? Omoni primu no akọ omu ni krom.
Ska mami kan say. Media mi hu ne say entwaye. Make any plane. And pay.
In
Ghana.
what sense?
Ghana, yeah, idea. Or Maya. First thing, we believe in tradition. We believe in our culture and our custom. So obi wu a emfa wo se we ye omanage pade ofura busuam. Enti abusua wo firi mu no abusua no wa amane ene amade. Enti amamre na ewo ho no sebe 24 sa amamre ye ntoto na se. Enti owo okwa abusua okokuro bia mu a ekuro no wo ewo amamre. Ada kuro no so no abusua bia wo bia no abusua no so omo amamre. Tio two things. Ada abusua na kasa dom no tri ba ko no oba mame ba papa ba wo fase a omo so okwan ya omo ye omade.
Interesting.
What you say?
Yeah.
Enti ye betimi skamino bia ni betimi afra abusua ba ko. What you say? But ebia wo ye azie ni kremoni. Ebi akọ matters mi ko Roma. Ebi akọ president mi ko Jehovah Witness. What you say?
Yeah.
Ye free kro ba ko kro ni didie wo ho. Ye free abusua ba ko abusua ni didie wo ho. Na emom no mbatan te se ye wo free no fie no obi aso ne ne de. Me ka na ko sisai. Ye papa Rawlings free bo free abusua na me free say abusua no e wo mamane wo ho. Abusua na mani a chire no oman me fa say kro anase regional free no e so wo mamane. Ska me di mani hwe ayiyo no se de si course na sabe mehu sabe ye pa yinuanum alogafo amamene wo.
There be ina me can say but say almost asante hene ne obegine mu kasa ema ye papa ne asante fo almost ye be see your ye bo mama ni nti almost so amaba almost so dey am respect na dey almost e be pay no fine meti ebusua mamre ne amane ne all of this things ase right. But me kinda in this modern time. Obia etre ni living will before sebe wato. I don't know Ghana for no say topic we really talk about it because you are pen me or how can will asema na on my dream you say sebio ni man na say Nigeria na ebusua peso and then you chine ya ntina they are asking them of will and only at the back one emprempi ewo ebibifo mu ni yentan nya saa de ne nyeden ento ho enti say nipa ne da ne benkum so a na akoye twema mentwe ntokwa wa ebusua mu hwan na tise ne aka ne say nipa bibi kakra woni nsem a hwan na ebedi ade hwan na ebeye we ye besie ni wo hen ye beye say banka say be respect obia wish even though I feel ebusua right ufi ebusua metiase ebusua bia wo na mamre ne na mane a omoye ansa so obito a omoja ne kwan but what of the person so why yet in living will at what of on so ne will
okay and no meaning say some of the presidentism omo said here omo yiye nyem but irrespective of na yiye city besia ye no at least some parts should also
represent them but I'm like why didn't they come along to join what they were doing at where they are doing it because minimum say yeah papa Kofi Annan free me they almost here in the state barrier and so the state did everything so no ebusia
yeah but can say the thing say yeah papa Kofi Annan you no hwe ya me asantini me asantini all right but what I'm saying is I won't say yeah papa go free me jari ne yire
asante
yeah but ska if free baby e da no ekon ano e de ko wura dem ho e de ko akire ya mo fonton from ho a ya badwa we inside
yeah
ska kanya hwekura ne bia ka bonkusie mo palogo ana
bobo yeah so maybe I said what happened I really want to know what happened did they come along or they didn't want to why didn't they take part of it
Scamming said, "Tama ya papa ni free muno. akoya atwuma mentwe
uh-huh.
mo di kan de twuma mentwe pa eya monyuku ndc na de twuma mentwe ba so ya abani di kata to so bi anko san di na wo sheda
oh yeah you can ho asem me kai se no nyina ba
almost the omo de akoto omo party officer na ka butaya mo person mo yensen ka mo person mo ye omo ye won chen enunti no ekoma abusua no ekoda ntemo ekoda ntemo chesei enye sabe ekoye aban no NDC amanyukuo
enokwa na ebusua ne so kora mai ai
na ebusua ne mai
ka ne chifo no kora meka
ta eche na ebusua ne be kasai na ebusua no kasaye no mu no na ka omo yemu a omo pese ye papa kenfa man yefa ne mere krom omo dia no ne se ye betwa bibia won krabonten so ye betimi yadi na fa kofata male de na fa borga fa hin de na ko hin nyina nemmum no nennam no ke mamma ne medan kuro enuna am se enne aban susiye na se aban no I'm trying.
But could it be said no? Living will say he wanted to be buried here.
I don't mean to mention
it could be because the only way I bet money I acquire that because anybody new living will and can say busian do fear busium to and buying credit to me to bury him where they've laid him now.
But can you say never be free me boy?
Yeah.
Never be free me ye bibia won krabonte so na so ne nam de de ko
to ne krum ya.
Ya ko de da ne krum ne sa de ne bankan abeye ye to aso di ye man state barrier.
Yeah.
Minim ye papa de wotworo to ho. Na roya fo ekin kan chi na busua. Nemom no ska se oda ne krum o oda nkran yo. I know there abra enshira ha because san say the wotworo to on man kan bi and ya kan ma mante. Nemom no mi die kakra mi hu ni say ska enkayi. Me kan say sabe ewo agrodie mu no ewo enyum bomu no at least yamba bobobo anasa amara kuo bi enya shaba baby kakra bi na ke yanti oponyo say me the spokesperson for the alogaga you know they know what can I say omunya invitation on Tuesday Sado kind, so what the
young former planning team who nothing?
No, meeting the life.
And yeah. During the course of waiting, I have a man invitation to come on Tuesday, and I said Tuesday, Nana and second invitation.
Tuesday, no invitation to be in Accra for that lane state in this side of Mania. But the problem is all can my opinion no I was just debating a lot because yeah papa then we from me afie
yeah
now we free me first couple sumi bi me boa
it's 2 months November 12 yeah I remember the day
yes enti ye nyire nim say ye day a yi yo beba so
yeah
enti say yi yo beba so a na say obi free mu a ana wo bushani free mu a ska anya hwe ne kura ne say ahusisi bi bekoso
yeah so na me say to omo no yan for ya include
ena me ka say ebia ehyehyeye a aban ade to wo manim sesei ene efese ya no ani anje ho enti say ani anje ho dia meaning because before crossing the way no mo dia ba say obuso be ya omamamere ayiyo amamere omo ya omo de omo be ya omo ayiyo enti no na I maybe the who ni say bia omobaye omode asronku nti ene bia sabe omagro die mu no omanfa bia maase ana say ya mamu kwan ma omanfa amagro die amaase ana say organizers no ene fi say ehu hia say ye di omagro die be basis ka yes kasa kwensem bisamiense ebu ba ko ene fi
But me say tradition is tradition. Baby, nipa na tono wo HD for ntiti say na kind listen. Now right now the complaint is you know my no asante and I say I can. No ne complain you know for complaining in this. But I sure wish say anka omunsa kind invitation no matter how late it was and they could have come and represent on side, which it said Tuesday and so no really late with that.
Mame ka bibi hwa won say ya mamne mu no yentu omahene kokoro bi su mahene kwa omahene no yentu na se emfa kokoro bi su mahene so kwa ya papa me nana osetu sabe emfa woni twaka da woni ntem enye babia no tutu ni na
Debi
enye babia ska ubetimi de wonsa ato sabe na yi wam eni na didi na so bibisi a enye ni nya no betima ba
Debi say Mr. Sante amemre kwa emma ho kwan sa right yeah
ana sa obepa so a abakokuo mu no ayamade awamade a asese wo ye
yeah
ana sa obapro no mu a awamade a asese wo ye
wow
ska so wo se ye na no se tu afia santimamu akọ baby a na from sa
Eliti fire one ye de adesua bi eba me fentwemu amamre ne amane asa hodo sa dwumedi nyina beba so e wo fire one and teacher coffee TV media dwumedi mienu ebekoso enchekra ye adesua because me bebe o ha minim even though I'm a Ghana and money baby or whitey, quite interested. I would also want to learn. And also, Babua, am I a Maya woman? I walk on to Muniadi, even quite more Ghana for Mutsi Ghana, Memun Soprano, and money and in your baby or why they don't even know. So we really want to learn a entertainment. That is what we'll be bringing to you, so we can all learn out of this. You better also. Memo finish that point. No, na you have to admit it.
Enti ansaba be tu panyi bi ase no ska na wo no ma bebre ya access wine ya na no se tu okwa abriche koba na so abai bi abaso a wakwa kwasra oba na bi aba akope wabusa ho se so wo tu kwan ya so a sem kran no nam ko
yeah
megwa ofan kran e na wo landing ofan kran no ba America crew dey ofan kran na wako se Korea o se Japan o hia ba bi oboku bia na nso oboko Jubilee House ho a ba akopɛ na wode koye nti sa ubetu ohiri bia se ska kokobo no enya sesabe ukoka ya no na ma nusu simra so ne se woni bibia ye keke nti kan ya na wadi wachida bi ewo no mani ahusese bi a eseso ye na emom no medie na minim se ayeda ya yenia no sabe alugafo no minim se sempo ya beye ni okromo mpo a ni ya bede da no mpo no a ya beye da yi na se ahusisi bi koso ba me nkan ko se de bisika no ebia na entiase no anya masa
and to say a part of say organization you know the planning team the planning committee include and invite I was a lady inviter that a honor and ye cry kwan fa so a ekoye no yeah best say next time and I say bb say you know it needs proper planning, it needs proper timing with invitation contem even though Mr. Nastani and I say munim say bia e contem anka e bia omo so ye den omutu anamo e bae na contem nti na manema akoye bibia e wo ho ye beto aso na yetie yahwe yen sitting president Nanado Akufo-Addo Dankwa tribute to the fallen hero.
Farewell, Commandante. He burst onto the scene like a meteor, but a meteor that did not burst into flames and disintegrate like all meteors do. On the contrary, it remained potent until the very end of its life, leaving strong footprints in the sands of time. The turbulent occurrences of the 1970s in Ghana, the overthrow of the Second Republic and the Progress Party government by the military coup of 13th January 1972, the takeover of power by the Colonel Ike Champong-led National Redemption Council and subsequently the Supreme Military Council, the proscription of multi-party democracy, the professional strike of 1976, the March 1978 referendum on the proposal to entrench military rule through the union government concept, the formation of the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice, PMFJ, to mobilize the no vote in the referendum, the consequences of the vote, and the conspiracy to abduct the Electoral Commissioner, the palace coup that removed General Kutua Champong from office and ushered in General Fred Akufo in his stead, culminated in the emergence of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings in the political space of our country. Charismatic, energetic, fearless leader. Such were the attributes ascribed by many Ghanaians to the man, Jerry John Rawlings, the young Air Force officer who announced his presence in Ghana's politics by the abortive coup of May 15, 1979, and was sentenced to death for his part in the failed effort. He gave at his trial an important insight into his character when he stood up before the military tribunal to accept sole responsibility for the attempt and to request the NCOs who were being tried with him to be absolved and freed by the tribunal. The great events that were to define his character and career followed quickly after his trial, conviction, and sentence. 3 weeks later, whilst awaiting execution of his sentence, he was dramatically freed from prison by the insurgents of what has come to be known as the June 4th uprising, when junior officers and other ranks of the Ghana Armed Forces banded together to throw out the Supreme Military Council and install the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, AFRC, headed by Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. Thereafter, JJ to all and sundry in Ghana. It is no wonder that he came to regard June 4th as, quote, that defined day, unquote. He re-emerged as chairman of the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC, when he led a successful coup that brought the short-lived Third Republic to an end on 31st December 1981. The tumultuous and at times lawless incidents of the AFRC 3-month tenure of office and of the early years of PDNC rule are matters of record, winning him passionate admirers, vociferous critics, and determined lifelong enemies, all at the same time. He was the longest serving ruler in our history. 11 years as a military leader and 8 years as a twice elected civilian president, making 19 years in all. He was fortified in his work by his union with his celebrated consort, the equally dynamic Nana Konadu Ajiman Rawlings, who proved to be a sturdy pillar and invaluable companion to the very end, and who bore him 4 children, the eldest of whom, Zaneto, is continuing his tradition of public service. It was no secret that the relation that existed between the two of us, right from the heady days of 1979 through to my brief period in exile, his assumption of office as the first president of the Fourth Republic, the historic Kumiprako demonstrations, my period as Attorney General and Minister for Foreign Affairs in the Kufuor administration, to be my elected the 2008 NPP presidential candidate, was one of open animosity. We did not see eye to eye. However, with time, things changed. We came to see value in each other and understood to a very large degree our respective perspectives. One thing we had in common was our mutual commitment to public service. My visit to his ridge residence in 2012 signified the easing of tensions between us, leading to a friendship that lasted for the better part of some 8 years. Indeed, when the Ghanaian people in 2016 reposed for the first time their confidence in me in the elections of that year, one of the first persons on whom I paid a courtesy call was His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings. From my entry into office right up to the day he was called by his maker, he remained a good friend and a repository of sound advice. I knew that in moments of difficulty in my presidency, I could count on his considerable wealth of experience and knowledge. On those occasions, he came through for me. There was a symbolic gesture. He advanced to me at the funeral of his late mother, Madam Victoria Agbotui, held at the forecourt of the State House on 24th October 2020. It was to be our last time together. He was called up by the clergy to receive special prayers as the only surviving son.
That is a very long tribute. We'll have time to play part of it later during the show. But indeed, well respected. He became an advisor. I'll say since all the founding fathers are gone, he became one of them that helped the Fourth Republic with advice. But his experience, 19 years of leading that country, I'll say he's gone too early. We would have wished he would have stayed around longer to see most of his dreams for this country come to pass. Sly.
Scott. This tribute here, one of the touching tribute because
sweet and bitter.
It's hard to to testify or to
be a
praise
friend
or
with
to
an enemy.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, like a long enemy.
Yeah.
right from Rawlings, political, foundation, right from there. And then they became enemies, and then to the point, Rawlings was going after a Kufuor Krama. Or also calling them Cote d'Ivoire, baby, she said, to Muremu,
long history. Long history.
Almost calling them Muremu, baby, she said, according boy, Yakobi Manso. A boga Wakobi Manso, also call a boga Wakobi Manso, I say, Yame Adoma. And was sad to find a dear Kumi Praku. Could be any more near Yaga, the call friend of my according to two. But here's the case, sir. Sir, because of a Kufuor, even the NDC political party in the Crown, if they have the right, they can come back second run from the party.
Oh, really?
Because, honestly, they didn't even, some of them even don't want to, they were not even saying something good about him.
Why is that?
Because some say, Tama Rawlings free, 2000, 2001, that was, when they started the National Reconciliation Committee, so some of the major generals and some of the PNGC members, some of the AFRC members, and all of them were invited to be questioned. And then that thing was, it was a point of revealing secret. The way the thing is now, say, Obi Biden can what GBB too, you find so more judges, no, you find so more major generals, no, you find say, nipa be a disappear. So if say, Obi to me as a better knockers, I am pa judges, no matter me cool, no, wouldn't say, and can judges need be the back, the nanda, the bush, and the able to me decide the panaco court, I'm a nipania chinatu.
Oh, yeah.
And I could.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of debate went on, but the thing is, Obian what you too. Emma Oha, your papa, Kojuti Kata, Woko, your papa Rawlings, he was so passionate with something. Indeed, when Emma and what Chekrano and this buyer, okay, Kufuor ne Tatuchi Kata court to some be ne home fast track court, ne Sebebri, some of the NDC, Victor Solomon, some of them were, Kwame Peprako, they were, Kokota, nearly the Kofiasi, PNA, and Sanaman. Some of them free say, he was the one who started, because by then he was the Attorney General. And then the pressure, not a war. Baby, I bet you say, NDC, anyway, Echo Court, you didn't say, man, they were into now, witch hunting, and not a dozen. Into after 2008 now, before fish now at Tamis Bar, people were expecting say, and give you a mocha. But say, at Tamis or law, or child law, we need to know what the banana here, Juma.
Yeah.
And yes, sir, Sabi Obiatia Nasutino, also Bonasum, then somebody here, Juma. But some of the NDC party members, Oman pursues Hadian. To the point, said, I feel now you're training, now feel quiet. Until from 2012, after the court petition here, everything, a Kufuor, a Jim man, a coin. I wonder if your family started by.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when, they almost started to say they were coming together. Not like coming together, he was paying that kind of respect to him. And then you see, sir, they were like every garden, now they sit together. Like, and then most of the gatherings, now, I mean, they come together, all the, now a more relationship neighbor, the neighbor. And to get into 2016, the crown against someone. Kufuor, I mean, Rawlings was leading some delegations to because I'm sure Ibiana Quara School for Quarabia or my year Ibia with the call, Castle now Rawlings lead do delegation and they pay, that thing was going on. But now still some of them were so annoyed, said, nipa wo no watwo manso kumi preko from one ni nyina wo pese 92 kura wo no wakosa tese na ohwe Kufuado ne Rawlings kama men kan ya na nya agro mami tese ye tell ready so ye kasa memem na me chen but the one thing I need you to say I don't look at the beginning like I said no ska about to go biano anya sudio
enye
and about to go biaso nya pepepe ebeye pepepe amade wodi gunim na mom ebeye rewosam ama sabe de this year free mu and now say de na japade free nsa and now say de bibia code with you so ebia de fiase bia ye nanso ni nyina mu no mitie nsemu anu woka you know say he started from Nkrumah no ba ne papa so ba champo mo so ba akufu no
no he was trying to make a point but so now so would you say that they were like frenemies or like at this point now I say we forgive you and because so be of course seek advice fini ho for our memo dear now who as a mentor would advice one ho how our no office and so be to me akosono would you say now we're forgiving then at that point
ska na unforgiving no crown ska na ko tigini na nya ba when him said up to date crown some of the NDC members crown no muni jeje nya fa Abri Papa Jenya fan. And then up to date. Metie some of the people are for free mo. Let me use this person for an example. Okay, for Sebia papa mi body fache mi. Papa cobre Japan. Which happened to be say ne papa was one of the lawyers. So anytime Obia maintain so many interviews from so many presenters. Obia Babu said be out to say still no the bitterness was there. And yet now I don't blame him. Because Obia the betima ono papa neto at the age of 19 years. Ono papa neto Obia bebo prumu. So papa se kwako fampa boa brem. No fa chow e dia ma papa. O papa se me kwaba enwanu o better yes ya o papa yakuna shin now he was saying something about some days no corona na still now they didn't know what was going on in about 2-3 days later no here has ne hazakes Bobby e was stadium nti no be feel who said nipa bebre atwa me feel ho hia then they were telling him so debri ka be foka ne ko na yedina second mo kono ko da be obi na wo da wadam for china ubeti BBC news say yesi o papa ya shida kuno nti hona wo wadam for them awa for exile no and na wo beti say o papa kraza ye kuno ni ahye no wow at the age of 19 years iti me say nipa sanu ka say forgiveness no fanya adwuma obetimi ya forgive you but ni ready enfi because maybe cry now tell me take that story me yeah you know I just imagine how the whole thing is cost so never na yeah now the next day now papa no to you now the next day now wa ma no otu woni aduane anu odini ne chance ni se ni sito obi afanesa ka aduane no ade ache so the enkwan so we so ade ba wono ne sam bibia se the city anete wow I'm kind of surprised and I'm even shocked like Kufuado to come out now nipa wo ha abi otimi de cha wo mo ska yezo so papa beji na papa o fancy pa o se nipa bia no asa de o ya benkwan o ya benkwan ya o motive na ya abenkwan meboa na so se de be ya u benya kakra biri be ya o gere to enwu na de be ya o gere to ana de twito no de eno de wo ye de beba enti ne papa ya yi ni de e de asa ne fans ni de o beji fans ni kakra Now the fans kakra what dia na fans na asa de wo hwe TV and adum kan ya the phone afi na ahwe what you say ada ayede
yeah
it some things you know na ebeye thing ska ebede say bi wo hakura pa e wo fa kura ni bi a champion obi kura da nya ni wo fa obi okura ni krom ni kaka no
yeah
and so anya do bitum bi ache nti I mean to forgive and to unite with this person for like 8 solid years and every time one depending inviting be both sides omoko
yeah
now it's so amazing and it's so touching sir I mean some of us in the Metiasia but I mean for how long and you keep this bitterness in you
the more you keep it the more it destroys you
where your papa your free me ska normal baby
yeah
normal me no and a see Ghana and a see Ghana a dana will free mu no and a dana e den chef from now unum normal me no see e ni geni arepo ani geni arepo say geni raho se papa na free mu na otie ni nsem bi ani nsem bi a woka mame se yenya bibi o Ghana se ni papa ebi ana nipa wo baka krati se wo no ye papa Kennedy Japan no na ko ya no di tu na to boom aso se aja se den kofunsi tata na bi a wo baka na no atum kakra na betin ya se kofia proto ya kochina kokuna ne se intina abema nsembu wo ha wo kana se de ya ba so didi makwado ane chede so kunya body apisi ni kontom ne na ko bi da chan ti bi obeso di che kakra ntina bi akasa bi waka no bi se do beka bi ahye ba ya papa so de se wonim no ofiti asem wa first na do 6 matcha na ska wonim da dia na me de se papa Rawlings se kasa na ma yi na metoa mi che ko bo ka metimi da na unu se zata ni se PV obemu ne PB of any tattoo, Koduchi Katam, the Tron State Retinman. Until we general no Casase, now who say Papa, Katano, a Kerman, or Tutun Channel, and in Sessi, I used to see her. Yaka cry, I knew a freestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the far I know of your identity. Woman, woman, yeah. And when I am a Nijika Camano, because I said the question time market, I said, yeah. I know there be a debate.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, wait, so near indeed, it's so amazing. But a CLB, a CLB, what sabi to free mobia when yaje, it be so Yamini Chianica will be seen the money in our band so be or Nini Yakopo and Temosa.
Bayan Kaiso be a bill. No matter
what,
be a no better, but no matter how old you be or young folk, baby secret, can you phone so eto. It seems like near defeat 2020, Numanka, for say be 2021, Idianka, Nema will be, but I shall see ya January, no more Marco Conocrana, maybe Boswa. Anka dear Betty, you better as soon as I could tie ni urine so tribute. Na yama yeti ni money dear no air pressure betty and you're dear Kaka. Na ye papa kaye mwana ye kainu.
Tribute by the wife, Nana Kanedu Adjaman Rawlings. It starts off with a poem. We started on the journey with wonder at the world. We skipped along with heads held high. Our flag of hope unfurled. Enthusiasm filled our days. As optimism grew, we had so many plans and dreams. Did some of them come true? But then our path grew steep and rough, and clouds obscured the sun. As problems raised their worried heads, we lost our sense of fun. But love was there through troubled times to ease the hurt away. With caring hands and gentle touch, it helped us through each day. So as the road goes winding on, step bravely mile by mile. Through sun and showers, hope and joy, the journey is worthwhile by Iris Hesselden. Just as the poem states, we started on a journey, one that was free and easy. I was innocent and you were streetwise. There was so much I did not know and understand about the real life outside the wings and home of Mr. and Mrs. J.O.T. Ajiman, since I had lived a very protected life under their roof. I had to learn to understand how to be streetwise, move along with the flow of your friends and acquaintances, but it still did not sit well with me. It went against all the upbringing I had intensely received under the roof of my parents. After several trials, I decided a leopard never changes its spots. I was who I was based on family values. I decided I could not change for the sake of love. You finally understood me, to take me as I am. I was who I was, and there was nothing I could do about it. You sometimes called me snooty. I refused to accept that. I said it was based on my values. We had our ups and downs. However, our foundation of love for each other kept us together. We got married on January 29th, 1978. I recall you wanted us to elope and get married. Again, it did not sit well with me, and I said no. And you very quickly told me you were just tricking me to see my reaction. Family was very important to me. That is all I knew. So eloping without a wedding involving my family was out of the question for me. Our wedding remains a memorable day for me. It wasn't a military wedding because of your disillusionment with the military government and armed forces at the time. I do remember my father's words, quote, "There are several reasons we send girls to school. That when you get married, you do not make a man your pillow. You stand on your own and earn your keep," close quote. He advised you to encourage me in my endeavors because a working woman is a free woman. We were married and I learned to move into another family of just us. I tried. It was not easy, but I knew I had you as my support, so I pushed on. With the birth of our first child, your care and concern knew no bounds, as you would spend all morning cleaning the house and doing all manner of chores before setting off for work, so I could rest and see to the baby. You took pride in your fatherly duties. There was no task too tiresome or bothersome for you, as you sought to take care of your young family. The scarcity of goods in the country at the time made things so difficult for everyone, and so you decided to name our daughter Zaneto, which meant, "Let the darkness end." The next few months had me in a constant state of fear, as you were arrested countless times by the military intelligence, culminating in the historic trial after the May 15th uprising. Life after June 4th, 1979 was never laid back. It was a roller coaster, and to quote Iris Hesselden, "But then our path grew steep and rough and clouds obscured the sun. As problems raised their worried heads, we indeed lost our sense of fun. But love was there through troubled times to ease the hurt away," close quote. Our home went from our little oasis to an open refuge for all manner of people that believed in your cause. You were passionate and open-hearted, sharing all you had without a thought for yourself. After the arrival of our second child, Yaa Santwa, it felt like the nation was at its peak with hardship. In spite of this, Jerry, your gift of sharing knew no bounds. You would bring different people into our apartment, strangers and friends, for tea, coffee, and any meal you could lay your hands on in our kitchen. I tried countless times to hide the meager provisions we had for the children, but somehow you always discovered my stash, much to the mirth of your friends. After the 1981 December Revolution started, with all the difficulties of running a collapsed state, I saw less of you due to your schedule. When the restructuring and reconstruction took off, improvements to the national economy were clearly visible, and I would bring the girls over to visit on weekends and fortnightly. They never could hold back their excitement. When Amina and Kimathi were born, my work with the rural and urban communities intensified. You made me your eyes and ears to what was going on around the country. You trusted in the integrity and astuteness of our womenfolk to give a good assessment of the reality on the ground. With your help and support, we were able to make the fight for women and children's rights a reality with the passing of the interstate succession laws.
Well, this is also a lengthy tribute. Due to time, we'll move on and have the full tribute on our channel and page for you to listen to later. Indeed, a man who always fought for the truth. Even going on naming his child, let the darkness end. In times of hardship, there will always be one that will always stand out for the truth, who always want to see the light and bring the light in. He was an all-inclusive person. He loved the people. He loved the country. He was selfless and never selfish. He gave it his all. He will be dearly missed. Sly, the more I bring things in, it's really becoming overwhelming.
Ska, what your mommy, at my God, you should tribute na, Sabi, are home. Papa Jabre, no swami abrepa. What can you know? Ska. And then a normal muago, the necro muago clan and Musa.
No.
Make son of person mecano because Caneno na a yedding, din pa. Sir Abusiabi Bema won this year a diafra. Na en koba ka sebi, ye kase audition. Now people from the royal, families, Sabe kura wouldn't if you go back across Canadian. I said, Neya, over Pendisca, so be just can you buy what in Yana?
Count yourself out.
I essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, over a politician or do call baby a politicians. No, I don't know. Namity, I can't say, George Bush. And then he was talking about his dad used to be, going to the White House. Iti, ne White House, so ya kwa kakra ne Reagan ba kakra and then take kakra. Aga busaza ne papa ko White House ga ko fa Reagan ba nanante.
Ine no nyakra.
Watch iti, wohwe sanye sikọ enu a ya ma me kuna du shabire. Mami abre sabi graphic mo ateni radio so ateni TV so ateni
na make I say your papa ikra toy and some man for all those fake news things that they were writing about this woman, none of them were true, but they were still doing it.
Ska wa bre me kasa wa bre na che sabi na sabi Omu se asantini de share kwa ware manusu simra so menka sabi mfangu obi kuru anase ne bobre hu fi na mum se ne sitie kane no se asantini eko ware amani anase asantini eko ware infantini asantini na edi pa but ukesi ne sitie no fi sabi pa infia na otu sa na mo no na enafo na uche ni nsema no waka na otinde nice waka se eno ano pe na enukura che no skare se mitie panyini bi a oye politician ose bi wo hokra na ska bi wo hokra politicians bi wo hokra afekra na efia wotim no na ne man na mu da
David.
Politician or your MP or your minister eneyo efia wotim no obu okra woni ne man na fie ba ko
So osro for ne nkwa that threat na eba no ne ade
os enekra no kase woni ne man na
say yenya zenato no anu asem kakra say ebra na ne papa etiso no na kasto ho kra no mo nko ho
Dabi oh skadabi idea omafam pa because ska na so papa ni na bia na wotwe na wotwe no kwani na wotwe bia o because na wotwe so na se bia okọ African Union meeting na okokasa pere na wotwe ba yeso okọ Q Satan so na ye papa na otatu kwa be bia otako Cuba because ni say na Satan na dan for pa ne yadima ene Fidel Castro. Inti these are those people are not watani or me na what you ban no kase o me Cote d'Ivoire me Togo ami obele oh inti amafam wa through the abantu go no sa de ba ne ya omunyinyira ija ka o me John papa kakra no na baba wo abafo na ya momo yakọ na ya mama no so abre tese in all channels are also or try say or the beboa I mean or beboa other people with the 31st December women movement or starting here the mobilizing mark akra pens and new maybe ma man be man be jina na so me feel say scarcity in movement even though it belongs to basically for like the NDC members, but it also opens some of the Emani BNB. For some of them, so oh, you're creating me for MP, you're creating me for DC, you're creating me for Assemblywoman, you're creating me for Sanoman. We feel that kind of education also why Emma it be to me to animal each number so send a bear to me I get be more na ebema o man no so yajo matu wabo adwuma na yabrahosam say abanisa yes nyame say one can no chichen re because ska wonya koduru say na say nipa woni ne popra no efiri mu a baby ani fia dunia yi o sa koye public figure ya na yet because
and what I really liked about her and so say she stood by his side through it all. She's a fighter.
Oh yeah, because Usha nipa sabi. Abantu gum ye mufuru hopa na ya no nkrofo. Ya o kan Usha tati no nipa ye mufuru ho judges for retired soldiers, public service, and businessmen. And kofo yi omufiri ho a sabe why this year na kofo so ne this year bebre ya ne this year dan so o janachi mu ne mecha no o janachi now no kra no ono so life was in danger wa ahwe ni nyina nti ayara say but why are they wako
I mean,
the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. But the perpetual folly of mankind, always thinking there's more time. This has been so unexpected that translated jokes where to begin. Jeremiah, whose mission covers, named you Jeremiah. You knew your purpose to the essence of who you are till your last day, because resonating within you was an organic understanding of a name's sacredness to that name. You knew this. You did not name it The warrior's label was thus your gift, and reveled in each name lay your challenge to us to be watchers, never to falter, to stay grounded, to seek our purpose and remain true to us seas. A name you made up and gave to your first child during the difficult tour of Asante extraction in modern-day Ghana. You named her after Nana Ya Asantewa of Ejisu. You named her after the warrior queen society. Kimathi of Kikuyu extraction in Kenya, uprisings that led up to the independence struggle against the British colonial rulers and Africanism. Perhaps it's no surprise that you created a bridge between members. Perhaps at our earliest memories of the giant, for many a dashing lady love by your side. Oftentimes, we would only see you on weekends as you would traverse the country non-stop, never tired, always heavily concerned with the countries and of the people, your people. They were a part of you. 3 times a week for many years, with first on your lap when our fingers could barely grasp the steering wheel, was your second love, flying. Experience the wonder and majesty of the Creator by conquering fear, mastering your skill, and trusting that you would create skydive after age 50. You were an artist at heart. Your portrait pencil sketches, but a preview of your nutshell in the house, reflective of yours and your wife's artistic abilities. You were highly intuitive and perceptive, and spent time with each reality to global geopolitics and more. Whenever we asked you a question, at other times, you would just offer a candid opinion in a few concise statements and move after years of exposure to it. When it was time for us to go to boarding school, you took pride in setting up your barber's shop on the compound of the house. You just as well before hacking our cousin's hair to the most shocking yet hilarious spectacle. You and Mom would always ensure that you visited in Achimota and the mischief that you got up to, defying gravity with each flight. You've been among the clouds, you were an artist, fearless recklessness, mundanity of life, to challenge even at the risk of standing alone. We economic system on the plight of people of Africa. Live your life. Make your mistakes, and most importantly, never let your feet leave the ground. Armed forces, the precision of our Air Force, not just for oneself, but for one's fellow Ghanaian in the face of adversity. And of course, let's not forget the incredible your shortcomings. You always thought about the health and well-being of others before yourself. And it's such a shame that not every individual got to see or experience that about you. Of numerous students, telling your family to squeeze in the car while you gave countless strangers a lift on the motorway. Since your passing, we have been inundated by testimonies. Father, grandfather, sage, friend, daddy, thank you. So walk briskly and purposefully as you do among the ancestors. You will always be our warrior.
You will always be our warrior. Really, really sad. Sorry for the interruption and technical difficulties. We'll try our best to get things running, but we will be right back. Stay on. Thank you for staying tuned. Really hard to digest, to really process. Nobody thought we will be doing this at this time, but yes, no. Ɔman nyinaa shedding. Sɛ nyame adom a yɛtumi akora yɛ papa ekyi. Meaning sɛ legacy will still be carried on. Some of the other videos, he always want to hold people accountable. If I see you share those things and can discuss kakra, he say and more accountability is still there. Does it even exist? Okasaba corruption. He was a man of truth. He always want truth to lead. He was trustworthy and he trusted people easily because he is selfless. He wasn't selfish. He wants the best for every individual. And I hope say Nipani be ebenye not the negative side that people talk about him, but the good things in him. See nyina ebe to me esua sade no na anka oman no akwanenim enyam punto senior odo oman no senior okay about the country. So I remember him.
There's a whole lot of debate, with people they can see no more fresh here, and also people are no more around. Now, initially, I mean, he just let them know his intention, to fight against, corruption and to make sure even common and as a, little Ghanaian can eat, at least 2 meals a day. I understand. Some of them was even also, if you give some of the chance, Korana, they can also come up with a whole lot about, why he was, he decided to fight against, at the end of Korana. Now Korana is the same, which is natural, which is, normal, because, sabi, but before say the opotomane effing or the boma yinchi. Na I want to cancel, but yeah, say, a corn, you're so bacono. A corner a demo. And that's a corner yet twasso, and I are twasso. Debbie, Ska, and can this it's a 2 years, can go for Bako. 72, because, but I already 2 Abangu, So can you maybe Ska can go for Bacopa? Mitier, Major General Kwabramba Chamfo. Now he was one of the AFRC. Now he was I think he was one of the for foreign affairs, which is dealing with the interior and the foreign affairs. Now he was talking about and the corruption in the chain Satam. Now and then the energy to say and yes sabi nipa no ko si o se first in this car onya no dia kusi. And then the whole minister or social media. Now on the phone. We met 2 years ago, met on Korea. Now we made 1 year to see here. I can't Dubai.
Wow.
Now a home minister.
Wow.
The minister no one can video in fear can fear no was some broker senior TV ifoni abanya be interview. Now we are there and I'm saying that now we made 2 years to see and I can't wait say Korea and we say we. Pani Musa said parliament wɔ no ɔmo dɔ aburo wɔ hɔ anaasɛ ɔmo dɔ nkatifu wɔ parliament.
Oh gosh.
And so it's those people who condemn his action, who condemn his action of trying to stop corruption. Today they are more corrupt.
Oh, it's just say me dream who I'm in Tiasi, and maybe see her in the video. Me, he's the man of truth, and he always want the truth. Na me we will be out pesque di on kano kurane sotrono ujine left and right. And there are living testimonies. Oma no muni bu na memuno. They are all there, and they are even crying. Say, "Omo time no one momo enyeska." Unlike and what is going on, and so. In this case, we'll use some of this, and in our next show to come, we'll hold all the ministers on my beveti or more on the 10th of February. They will all be held accountable. Or more every few days. Because of politics, that thing must change. Let's watch this.
There are many, many people in this country who will heave a sigh of relief to hear your restoration in this association. True. Whether you like them or not, you cannot deny the fact that very often they're standing for truth and justice. Even in the Bible, they tell us to obey our conscience, because that you're not liked by the very people you're fighting for. Ladies and gentlemen, in other words, I want you to maintain that tenacity, that loyalty, that dedication to the truth. No matter what it costs you, ladies and gentlemen, because the country needs it, our people need it. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it, we still have problems ahead of us. Economic problems, serious ones. There's only one thing I want to ask of you. When it comes to the truth, you've stood by it day and night without a penny, on empty stomachs. Don't compromise it.
When we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong, and I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. Oh, then my pride was oh no. Something inside. The higher you build.
Well, when it comes to the truth, stand by it. Stand by the truth in all things. But I don't think Senator Mihuni say in this time of politics of Ghana, I don't see that. Man who be an aman to be Kurano, a former president, during the campaign time, or see the Ukraine or Yanka. Yet in Ukraine far from tro, yet in tro far from Ukraine.
Yeah.
How do we even move on from this? Just kind of imagining where we're gonna be.
Suffer in your politics.
Also for.
Baby.
But they say also for cry politics, politicians.
When I'm saying suffer in your politics, if you want to be a pastor, be honored and respected, not just congregation, your own congregation, but nationwide, worldwide. Stay out of politics. Oh yeah, because I saw the baby Timamu, my baby, and I said we are seeing the baby. Everyone no kureno. Say we and then kureno so better if you want no we can't.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Because American said, young fans as a pastor, what the infants as a pastor, who could start for MP. Oba I was so we mammy I made the Juma 5, Abba Kurunimu, made 2 show 25, a Janai Bibri, a choir as a mayor quaning in Amamu. Quara, what teacher Munko school, Mrs. to a Mubako school. My share abandoning free education, any abandoning free school feeding, be about Kuronuso. Scarce a woman or mine no promise, craft 5. Near 2 months. Now we call now you move 4, na back on 1 year. What can't
Yeah, so smoking was sold to me.
Yes. What can't and as some so seven. One cassa walk unu said me enough for. And yes, 7 una na go to be on the man. And now say Busia Japadi be and a walk off at the project. No, I can say project I may share who bono a $20 million and the Busia Sika Dao a $30 million. It may work with Busia $20 million and a Yamamo. Couldn't say and you couldn't make. And if you call yourself a pastor and involve yourself in politics, me Jajo. But in some people okay, you don't be sorry bit anywhere. And find judgment.
And you say your papa way nanka one your politics nanka yes of one car, Benjamin Mespa.
Let me tell you this. Let me be honest. Politician Obeka say on your corrupt crime, 20%.
Oh
yeah. Politician Obeka say on your corrupt on the way fair 20%. I didn't make it 20%. Some of the politicians even they don't go to parliament, but at the end of the month they pay them. Some of the politicians they don't even come pay as every week, every month, be able to purchase car. I have corruption in the some politicians and say, yeah, but I told you, I have video on my phone. Politician, now you're too old, or then you're politician, or 777 president, Manisuma, or no. And to the speaker, the Kamakara, yeah. Are you not corrupt?
Say we have a power in and that's what you saw. Who's idea no be fire right there and then, right?
Sky any part no be anywhere. People who condemn other people, no, they should have second thought. You know, Obianya perfect.
No.
And I also like say some of them who almost started selling in the year, they also pointed on 1 or 2 things he was preaching against.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, also earnings hand.
Yeah.
What do you say? Say papa so ba baby a otisi say yes afi na no o free so ska wo no o ba charge yes ska na no cars na no and yes cars na no even to the point that people say he used the abino and also oman helicopter or the training ma which the first one is that also training the we no and o job no ko atra captain so on fan kono sabela And you said, can you manage a padu?
Yeah.
What do I say? It no one is perfect. And to people who are condemning himself, although he was preaching against corruption, but on no official corruption, you will say, also now, but when you're corrupt.
We're more corrupt than he was, right?
Oh, so they used to come say, "Wow, so you're born everyone can see a pair."
Yeah, yeah.
What I say, you all do the same thing. When we talk of corruption, we look at people who are doing the bigger thing. What about one that we are getting no? For any same friend that's also kada ya fitu. Getting no na ba no. Obi ye na hu ni kaka. O starting getting na kase. What starting getting na kase? 3-4 years to come, obi who say what you say kase. No one know if you get no so be just akwa we panansi on so be what all am 5 or 6 times 20 we see. Meanwhile, also start here. Why see? Was started. I told you, I spoke to one MP. Oko MP the first year, I know them car auto $80,000.
Wow.
As to be uncle MP, no to use cow. You got Kogan and Rock to be now use. As when you order the branding, I know now my respect. Me pay fridge waha, me pay TV waha, me pay phone waha, me pay any more bumper way, me pay when one church in the bad with tea. It is politics, dear. If a politician will tell you, sir, a politician, a politician who feels up, your papa do kind of crow, your papa do the money at Jimo, your papa dear, and the corruption at 20%.
And when
the 20%, no, what is super?
So now, what's about gonna say? Unyo be a perfect. They all will have one BB, all right?
Skadai.
Wow.
Scar up for a politician, and say, how many times that be a sentence CBI, no parliament to Kobe? I didn't know Wonko. I didn't want to man. I didn't know Mani Choka, so classic.
And I didn't know.
She said, I will say,
I didn't know Monko. Say, I'll put to do something else, Anna.
People are on the excavator to go down and not go ahead. Obviously, yet no phone go ahead. Be a catifo, a big Yakakadro, and a Mako, all go ahead. Politician who are for free by the ban or ban or the ban what that would tell what the dear no asaba. Ask politician who are what a contract. Any country so called China no man or now Konoko Jana or Danny because so everybody transfer us interest of betray and what so now this can go back you know call China no Kuchiaka no year the container or the Basata na parliament yes it is.
Wow.
That's kind of the point in person soon as some correct Emma Corako school no one helps a quan ya contractor no ye man the contract so on your point ye man the contract so sit down you won't see hospital you won't see some janai and I want to show no why na I mean sinegu no akoko obokwa ko say contractor e dia 17 na adwuma no wie ye no be aka oh my 50% so abani tua beka na obokwa ban no akọ fight na ka ban no contractor 50% na man na ko complete the net 50% na 100% or the to Dubai as some correct chere.
Wow.
Onya corrupt.
More corrupt. I'm say my friends are modern day politics now. I say I didn't to him because it seems like in maybe and to be no accountability. Let's watch this video. Because see I heard Papa another video of what others are saying about him and some of his own words.
He said, I have a conscience. When I see myself do something, I can tell whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So we're not in any hurry. There is nobody here to see us. But the light says red. So you stop and wait for it to change. So he's teaching them that whatever work you are doing, do the right thing. Do it the right way.
By the end of the millennium, a fresh wind on multi-party was blowing across Africa, and Ghana under Jerry Rawlings was warming up to a representative government.
This country is not going back. She's moving only forward.
A new dawn was approaching.
The
action taken by the junior officers and other ranks of the Ghana Armed Forces was motivated by a desire to bring justice, social, economic, and political, to all citizens of Ghana. The main purpose of the exercise is to ensure that the gap between the haves and the have-nots, the rich and poor, is bridged.
Still to come, the adaptation to party politics, a vision for national development, and a legacy of democracy on Rawlings, testimonies to a patriot. In his home country of Ghana, he was simply called JJ. In the turbulent times, a nation's expectant youth referred to him as Junior Jesus.
He was a savior, honest person with high integrity.
Hero, revolutionary.
Just an ordinary, hungry, screaming Ghanaian who wants to contribute.
Visionary.
Difficulties were dissolving into chaos, and you needed somebody to actually take the bull by the horn.
Patriotic.
Let me assure you that Africa can work. It is up to the rest of the world to look beyond the prejudiced and sensational images and recognize Africa as the continent of the future.
So there was something about him which you could recognize, so you wouldn't question what he said.
This iconic figure rallied the nation.
He meant well for Ghana. If he has to pay the ultimate price, he was ready to do that for the good of this country. Any interest, it's about the people.
Well, he was all about the good for the country. Always meant well. Get upset with things when things don't go well at his own people. Just trying to teach them to do the right thing. His values, what he cherished most, helping people and reshaping them, helping them to do the right thing. Hold yourself accountable for the things you do. Because we have this one life to live. And when we're gone, each and every one of us will render an account for the time you were given. This was life to him, trying to tell everybody, do what is right, do what is right. I sure hope our leaders are watching and they are listening. And I remember during the campaign in 2020, after his passing, the opposition party wanted power to be given back to them, saying they want to continue his legacy. Which, when they had power, I didn't see them leaving his legacy, what he left behind. They didn't do that. And so where we kono na so betwa so ana se sen kwan ben na obefa so atwa so sen na obeye no said then na me corrupt say dey me ba me corrupt biom ana can you tell me how? And I say obi say once saved forever saved, and I say first na me the boni eni say ba Christo me boni biom. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I want to know, but somebody, our lines will be open. Obi apese will free, will contribute, which are wide range, will be bika. You can be a kind of one tiasi or once in bisa. But me afraid, yeah, WhatsApp line +17202381489 +17202381489, and I'll be free US number na 303-800-6277 303-800-6277. Yawaha enche yabema yomuso ebo no nai ewo mountain time ewo ha yabema yomuso. Niamane doso
ba ye me yase ntumi mboni nyina so ba ne aka ne beboaboa no na watwe se ne ye de beba enti bebi a mmerebe ma ye ho kwan bia ye de na de ni bewie ne ye de betwere ho because niema ne bebre ho corruption ho nsam je se nsam na dooso edoso pa ai wo se nyina etumi kan adwenbom na ai sebio ya yetumi abetina akwantom ni ayesua ye papa no yetumi ni boa ye nuanom ma ewo Ghana ni yetumi etuni the upcoming generation no adwen free corruption ho na yetumi etwem adwen eba ne ya ade pa so se ne bia sebia papa ya wonya ne baby ko na nka ope amon no menim si nipa ho wonfomso enye bibia na ebetumi aye ne pepepe but try it one day at a time obi wo ho a oti akwantom politics into akopie Ghana but oba akwantom no nim kwan efa so aye branch enye sika ezo se wakwa onye sika ni free nti no wakwa ho kuo ne ho so I say it's either you are in or you are out. If you're not in, your life will be threatened.
Yeah.
And this has to change. Can somebody stand up and say media mempe bonnet mepe ade papa amomino mepe nkoswo nipa no ho adwene anaso o man no ho edo ana man ho adwene da wakoma so so you do the right thing. I'll let you come in Sly because in some no na do baby ana hadwin the way abesi aka na akosi ehe
ska famody
Oh really?
Not true.
Okay, then that I will.
Not true. Skaudi extra beswa ya be ye dabia na wakuma wanya kuma yare ti yare dabia be fam profi na fatala no na fast spring
just why see
almost the same. Guys, come and make a big job. From Nkrumah pencil, I bet him a good for the pencil. What am I very good for with the actually? From Nkrumah pencil, it be pim 72. Everybody see Liman pencil. Everybody runs pencil. If you come on the big says Nina, you to a bank we are saying your name, Obiaya beginning the was what the Begidin or person or GD or GD we are or say corruption tea. And a bit to a bego. About Ska, oh, yes, no, no, credit to say, the chapel, what's your chapel?
No, why and I change come for right?
For 2 golf.
Mete pa. You say when you na ye papa be two na which now or the who do any.
What I say, I watch our say to say, we know about a cherry Yakamaka, what you go,
sir.
Hey, a cheni a come a cheni for Kakredi, and we now were chili our penny moon, and we now our pen one no. Why do you go for now? Sing. I don't know, papa, I must be too free. You're too free. Wafe mega. I think that for statistics is here that day. And for one abambe back. Abambe ko. You get at least 40%. If why would Namia Shroud pa na ba by Namia Shroud? So what Memono Namia Shroud am a nipa or more pa akumum pa and Tiasia a 40%. I know the Omia corrupt, maybe a sister be a support Omia corrupt. The sir, Ubenya MPs, ministers, Omia corrupt. Meaning maybe a Namia bomb.
And you know me on momentum, and I no bet me as a child my dream.
Scott, Mr. Yamebo cram or back. Said the above one call sodium about this who said, or why a year now. Corruption will influence them.
Wow.
Oh, Scott, you're going to say, yes, it will be active, will be a into no 2 animal. Samino hoya sisi na Okogana yes Skanya deputy minister for information. Hey, the dear connection is Kenya ya Sky, oh, slide, you say, your poor ye pano. Oh, you say, no, a church. Also, the bra. Oh, ba. So we have a minister who said, who agency, and national department, when you know, and why am I?
Yeah.
That's a Sunday, no citizens, guys, or pay my money, or pay my money. Send your mama by the truck, all 5,000 from a special secretary too. Yeah, that come on, have a parole, so let me have me bizarre. What about AFRC, and about PNDC, AFRC, and about CDR, and about PNDC, and about NDC, and about Engra. Yeah, and go for more. Ya follow no more ban. There's a set of vetting. Now, ya can say, open the bureau where I be done. Mammy, oh my, you should scan no deal. Make my booty.
Wow.
Yeah, papa, yeah, papa could do chicata. He was special advisor for security, whatever. Advisor. Yeah, papa PB of a no, and the position there. Special advisor to the president. Special advisor on converting. So, mine,
yeah.
Okophobia was a special secretary to the president, special secretary to the vice president, special secretary to the IGP, secretary. Obia special, you know, special car. There's an own converting as to be did. Anything else? Yeah, when we talk of those things now, we look at people with the big thing, but exactly
the little ones now.
And look around the kuye. And the kuye. And people say, "What's he in jail?" Okay, but people if you are going boys and go acquire a day problem 50, all these boys have to eat.
Yeah.
All these boys have to find something in their pocket. Yeah, because I just say nyame boy for na yesa babiem. Na no ba watie te se ka obo ska me ba no me bo kokko gabedu si o maga na mu okọ ahweye na o man se ka wan fa so aka okọ ahweye ntwatini enyi banku enyi abetia no the way ni amaw agia amaw aduane a aya wronfo aduane okọ no bomode aso bedi abetia aduane gare ubedi to ubedi body ampesie adokura fa ko bi ka ho di to hwe buso ni e ma wo sa description no
na no no he ni pa be di so
aduso no
wow
eno ni asa no
oh my
afidie ni ya bwana esunu ko da ho ko
so I saw you pass out there
momodi aja ni he
the whole west is right
mami akwawe ko bo ni ye mpane kra and not to fiase e bi kwa nya kra ka ye bonfire squad ye bonutu okuno okobo amoni amoni oga di chapa man aduke mpane kra sinabo aso asema akwa kan ye no kra na kan
wow
no kra no kan
so why can you betumi asesa Africa. Me for my Ghana cry because yes my okay. African countries ni na mu obia ne de obia ne de. Why the bet me as Africa?
Africa na the bet me as Africa.
So that means the people have to change their mindset.
Two things. White people, the white man says to open the petun 20 na o le kuruma kra, kuruma kra we se the petun 2 for no. O pa mo. Na wasa mo anu ade om di nyawo.
Yeah.
No mamienu ye yendue mu dum ni amaniska ewia na ye de tumi kakra ka no
so sika kakra tumi kakra
na fi ye de yes no so the camera na sin so atetenwa ye de tana wo gidi wo nya fans na ska ne koso kakra bia chinatu
ne ya brana se
ya tiska ni na ya tiska ni na no to from se team na for us akrafo for no de na funu na no nyina wia no de wia ni ahwe na so se de ma na chance o chance no abiawu look at my people, the black people in this country.
Yeah,
some of them look at their life, how they started. Be a do here, and then they how they are struggle. Mommy, I don't know. Now I was just watching this news. I'll carry And this guy is in jail.
Yeah, he is. Billy Cosby.
Cosby.
Hey,
look at what happened to Mike Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. So we need a lot. We can name it. Malcolm X. We can name a lot.
I read about Janet Jackson. Yesterday, Papa, no mami mukra bills near Kurutimi. It is any mami so kwatanda that you nursing home so they have to walk out from there.
What happened to Nebani Estes?
It was in the news. Janet Jackson cannot afford to pay ni mami bills.
Wow. So that means black people, I was see a change in mindset because a black man before Leah and a young black man be trying 19.
Oh yeah. Look at all these great musicians. They kill themselves. Great musicians. Talking about Tupac, B.I.G. All these people, they're going after each other. It too say.
No, I didn't say.
I didn't say. That's the same thing in Ghana. I'm using this here as a example in Ghana. To say Ghana, what does it say? My 2024 now. 2024. After 6-7 months, I get to a man. What if your MPP Nippon for presidential? Look at the total disgrace that happened here before time. 2008. How many? 18 people. Obiama saw president. 18. Obiama saw president. Nippon 18. How greedy.
I say global high grade BBC in 2024 no the Republican then some backup primaries Michelle was a candidate for next election in 2024 and also how many Nebeko?
So let me tell you 2024
yeah
unless before the Republican will get maybe 2 or 3 people to contest let's be a trauma and cash on maybe if Trump
and they are no better than because I don't think I mean yes sure so baby and you saw beba but I don't think say beba so
why the best stop no
you obi enu best stop no by mre and a betre emre say emre da yanim
emre betre ba pe e wona brabum
well, remember our apostle answer. We have our first caller. Let me have our first caller. You're welcome about the buffet one.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, you're welcome about the buffet one.
Yeah, on this slide. Now make for my bus word the media de bia mudi my information is say yeni Ghana so de bia yet Ghana and some ne the ekoso. Na Australia me so fa the former president Rawlings on the currency.
Yo.
Na sika what say nipa be force 5 or mu na say omo papa ne former president.
Yeti pa. Sanka koya sanka ye nyina ye papa no ko sanka me kwa me so me boaboa me ho na me so me de yakọ.
Because wait there me da me njindi
Unyini wa hu.
See na ye papa to say they are working. Because on your president I only a father for the nation.
Yeah.
Inti ye na ye papa no. Inti na then omo afa I don't know what comes.
Well, I think say Wasanke was a busiani so na say DNA be or somewhere yeah, omutumi here to prove it because it seems like the way I feel about all corners no the enumguasie when you wechi in that sense no.
Say yeah Japan or mobile be printing now or more chinchina or more person manfo who say me papa ne rolling. I don't know or tears the one ye did anga say me papa no we ye de. I feel na more person man say who say more papa ne rollings.
That could be a point too. Bema slide so abemu I was some bisa we hu. Slide, what do you think?
Ska Penifossi Georgian Aquatano in baby a share. And Sassam when you did in Buano. A normal unity bit me, dear boy. Obit me marbonte, make us a domo kind of crew, but obit me marbonte, 8 me sabi. Finding sense in the boat and Cassasam work because mammy. Sasa uba montin beka na nya no kura uba kwa wudi atu atwa wo te se wo ye had them I was sawam ye found us went to make you sawam and I bet you flat ho
so safo no mo nyina so right
so mo nyina so me to me kasa de mo kan no se be amodi beje obeso amodi beje obudi ana bibisa ewum se echi so mu hwem eye ena sebe yanka se papa so ba bi ofiri no omo se fa amamre sam ye omo fa diabro enti omo di se na begu onu no nani mu asesa o timi fa hu di sa
yeah
waja se wo ba bi asebe yedo ba kwa ti se nyokoko nim sa be di nsenim no ene sa na se wo di nsu na tro na wutwa be actually 3 days now I was saying no.
But we did see one with this guy in I don't remember the area quite much. Monocry saying I said I sit mu or cry and things, but instead of it sounded like it might be yeah. It sounded like it might be true or maybe not, but I would say that they should look into it. But somebody like me, I don't believe it. Though, because so be watching someday be brave to me it's we'll urge the family to look into it if there should be some DNA stuff, whatever it is, to prove I think that will be helpful too.
Ska amobaye na me sure say dia omoye no omo amaba bonche no omo situation omo say DNA na fa utimi fa utini di hu sa because ebeye dem guase kase ene oyoni di kase pa sabe wo de beto busuane so nti so woni nyira so dia menyini se ko mo ntwini kan nka be se wo breka se oh wo se Rawlings kakra o no say oh misa na bia me ni free kuru ya kokko ne yanim no e bia ya mfono ne bibi sa de se na ya asresem ba se ni pa ne be ba na me hwe ma me na odi kan ba ya so no ni ba panyin no now we trust the police for try wo sia no wo si pete ne ho kaya ne ho a ska me pesa me bua ni bebe me pesa me kase odi tro anaza me kase wo kan ne kore nemo
video ba also where o yere kaka wanche o di ni bebe afrefi
oh yeah me free Denver here
oh okay eti wo susu ye wo sa asem we hu anything
me dey say ebia fame and I say views be na omo e ba bepe because say wo so papa no na say bia otiase no wan hwe wa owu ye na wo pese busuafo na ye den ma because omo na omo anyi enya sa fe na omo enyi ba omo na omo enyi nti no me I think say e bia ejapade bi na omo ba be prayer na say fame and views bi na omo de ba bepe because as a Ghana de bia BBC a na obi de afa ho de enya
or the bro nya ere nkoko right
yeah
oh okay
me chipu bibi kakra mu hwe unse papa Obama bash no obi anim se so onua bi kura wo Kenya unimza
yeah
obi akra tida ono kura mi se na won hye na nim na wutie documentary na ache se obekra so no na afo hwehwe ni nchini e no ko se wo ni nya bi wo sa ye twa sa ni nya be ma no ba wo hu no
yeah odene se papa
odene se na ko ni twabi what is what really just an animusha calling him na no needs the city. Oh, I can pass a better coming send you where you had any gun. Now, so almost code details the quotation, we shall the background for you. When you're flooding one knows acquiring your pack. What to know could intimidate? Make us say your more canoe and the correct and I say in the correct. Oh, penny forces a gold in ya in Jana Betcher. It you fetch a more. Ni ebu say oh we obesia ma fragadama na say we ne kure it is make my say do mo kan mo nyina so atiasem ma me yampani fo no ye hu mo sa no e mo nyu sa o ma say da adrama fo no odu kinkan so na baba ko ho odu bo sa mo ne baba ko
say ye dey chiche right
Hey, obi wa ya na to Fona Scar, Obi Bewu na fe, what's a good about Coco Mini Adaya, and be my missing me Papania Sumesi, Uma no one. That's okay, or trouble the son go back 2 years be. And I say, or yes, or Pepanum Cacana, a cook, a Gianni Bucadis. So, indeed, a Tadayana, Santino Sweat in Cacra, Timidia, and California, you should we. Na, in fact, no, Papa, and Fancy, yes, I maybe I can dear, I say, a yaya and Guaseca.
Right, really, I better was no breast so afraid. Now also the Abba, sure. I will be for Frau Bear at the Kawana.
Oh, there be, and why?
Okay.
Yeah, that's so net the Bia, net more my information. So, if we Kromogana.
You, yeah, that was so afraid. Yamin Sharon, so. Bye bye.
Bye.
Well, on that note, that issue, I will urge the family to follow up. Just say, my papa and I have some dream because senior kola nisika and I don't know tias no one for amber. And now number forward say, yeah, papa no more trama, a wakoterie. Otoya no nso ye hu se bi flash kakra me ye se nyina menyi ni eno ba ku bi epie mu ba be ma bi mesimi nyinni ana ye mu nso miensa aba be ka ho so yeah quite interesting but o share abakosemu wo Ghana ya papa no chese ye de chiche ne na ekoso pa anytime obi be free mu bia no some way ebi turns out to be the truth, ebi turns out not to. So we urge the family to look into this and bring the truth out. And on bebuana ama sumje na ma sankugu ye papa no mfia na nimguase bi ewo echire ewo busuano ho.
We dey kan esi nipa yempo sabe achia na nsu mui ni manu omo asabe kanya nimguase bebre yem say who knows? If you cry, my phone and family.
Well,
I never channel. If you swear, my phone so now I didn't say, the catcher say, be our papa no. Nah, be a waka, nah, baby, I did tibia, and I said, baby, what do you know? Nah, I didn't send baby raba. Oh, and you can't just bring them or more as a personal, Go to my many story. I was say, he once even visit Mami Dokno and narrate the story chair Mami Dokno. Kabibia chair Mami Dokno say this. And then Mami Dokno man is kaka is a woofy man muko. Was asking what the bar, The story now what can sound said she made an approach. But at the point, she was said of Osia was adding one and question. I was at time and this and also obey the back way. So ben kuka kran wa kwele kakra odi no ade chisu bako
now mama I say me what if you but I just didn't want to bring this up today. We will bring this and see, just ask viewers and callers what thought on this because this something be high and because or can one thing and the other, so which is which. I also didn't get it. One, also you were going and they won't let you in, but I think the first day they let you in I'm so because so trouble or so the second day now go inside no so my own room and interview bizane say I say wa yeah amane and amamre chese weja esiedi o say wakwaye enti se wakwaye nefe won so se busuane so mo ma on me on ma then I say two different things. I don't get it.
Sky say the issue it will be so hard for the security to entertain her doing that debate. So because if she's around, it will cause a lot of distraction. If I made a lot of distraction, look at how media people are there. Picture.
That is what happened. Even the second day of money right inside. No, that is what really happened.
The order of the service, it will be
changed. Yeah.
Two, also, don't forget that we have so many you're inviting Kofu ECOWAS, Africa, all this Kofu in Aba. And that's a one allegation, ever distracted. In fact, now, for me, we feel for them to be, stay back and it was the right thing. Not to distract the whole program. But after that, you will be behind it. I know they should take the proper, procedure. If she deserves to go through all the channel to come out, say whether you can get the coin, and penny for papa, and to baby that. But in order to let her stay back in there, I mean, it was in right order. They give her the chance to perform all at the city or not kind of according to a story, which is right. But to go or approach again, Ukraine, papa, no, but in the whole world, no, Obiano send the my nine.
Yeah, that's what we do growing up.
Obiano send the my nine.
Yeah.
Oh, we need Obiano. What the abandon said, "Be our neighbor, Penny." What I see,
So on this note, near Banonim so or maybe a baby now had a year on one man and you knew who be or what because Papa Fonbo, some of them are bold, a doing penny fear, so no be a bit to me. I can be a bit old him send a year on Kim Manocra and a bit to bed Bessia, so what is your thought on that?
And in the Pammy, the penny.
No, you're right.
No, you don't know our no. Among one in him. Bet my best nipa mi no anabako enim ana say nipa mi ensa na me ka no eye akwara ade okrim se de papa no ne maame ene se be ye papa je omie no hu se bi amire bi no omo ye bibi omie no betibe di adanse ani omo bi no efa ana se ye papa je wie ye no a ebo ano no a bia nipa no bosom so ye no wan pass no akoba no epie mu ba no ebi a waka che na say o mi ko twa mo ho wo ebuakwa na ebuakwa no se maame no ne afunu nya nti no bosom no so ina wan pass e na apie maba e no wabɔ na mane e no so wo ho aye maame nim but nipa obehu pa de nka ye papa no nka ya de ka mo friend na ba na ko wate na ni le ba ko aka say we me kaya na ko akata de a I know you're not calling it dancing in a session. I wouldn't want to
yes, I suppose. Yes, very, very sad. Well, I said here, but a sire say, I say, a moo end to minkasa, ain't in a one, and the allegation be near the atoso.
This be a nipa me, no, and I mean, sir, any beer. Nipa mienu ne betimi adi adanse sisi ya yekoye abrese blood work yekoye DNA huye ebi ya papa J bia na we dan ho di akire obi no akase
na sa insama we all the time na no kra na ebi no ho mbo mutim no mo ye
no kreska
most of them are not. There are some fake in it,
some fake it, but for real sometimes 80% 90% no kra. Yeah, because I can't remember. Something I because about this. Now there was this woman. Now when you see the long time. Now you were one lady of free. I think Italy or Belgium, one of the European countries. No, buy or buy Ukraine. The one the woman in urban. Anna, my meno, our woman, or day number ska. And you know what share the Miami fee a waspa say assumesi uncle fee room or qua the many on final command mammy and none of my men show me said you bit my juma. Yes,
yeah, which means any panel who
long time. I don't want to be able to apple walk on Quaraminu and then Quaraminu na small be. Actually, my mini bagana no dina ma. Say all famra ne mame. Na ne mame he kwara ne sene ya. Obetimi access na way adwuma. Mame ne ba ye no, e no de kwara no, bo kokoko. Obodin, ye frɛ me say me free kro we so. Na me ne asomasi obrenten no bo mame ni di. Actually no, e na de ba ye. Na wase me mfa me mai embra na kaye dai hwe me mai ma no na enche obeba Ghana ti ma me ne fa no no fa ni nyina we bi no de ne ba sofo ani me kai ase me Reverend Steve Astanti Ghana Baptist Convention on the year Baptist sofo na asemi ska ye afi na ye beka achire nipa na wode kwara ba yen se
Sama ina de ngala na mo.
Wow. Nipa na wode ba yen se ni se. Na ye kan ba bia ma me ni nyini.
Because nipa na physically asama okay. Share you kakra matiti nsem bi sa pen but who knows nyamena na enim ni wiase oboy ne ne ma ekoso say
esi ama ebi kura mi gabia nim no mi nim sisi ya ne na wi ema ne nana eyi ne ho adi kire ni wia ba say omukrum odine koy like olidino tu omukrum akoche no dua bi bebia abusua na japade e de man no bebi odo ko sheye gold.
Wow.
Amuko tu gold no
na no da ya sumu na physical
omutu gold no na arawusme won se nipa na ye kire no my ko no obitu go ni wie no kwa ni pedi.
Wow.
Aso abusia tiase no omudididi.
Wow.
I know some of the stories are true. Some of them are true. Sometimes you see some people you see them. And some of them you feel them. And some of them you hear their voice telling you say you see and I say shahase and I say kohase and I say kuweho but you say
that is really interesting.
Yeah, edana obiku obia edi babia was meka when you was meka maka obiku bi but dipa dia wo hunu because in the who were being a nyama na hunu nti woka de sese woka ana wo kire de sese wo kire ana se de sese wo de ma no wo de mawi a sa to mini jan hoko nti
wow we dey emre no aye be memo ama final thought na yasori so for ende na nyame adoma na wo twese ne ne yasan ahie biom.
Mema ya papa yako say jumadie na dodo na ne ho asemo na na yeka na meka se busua so ya momo yako msa se wo so ma hwade na so mai no nyina ahwade wiase nyina na ahwade nyom papa nyom na na nyom nya preoccupy se ya wiase nyina sebi adihye nti ebe ma obi bia yako na biem so meka jumadi obedi ye no wa wo condemn no Francis Ayebra especially ya kaka ye ministers ye MPs ya assembly ma ye DCs dia woka say adia abutaya wo de bedi oman so no wo na wo hwe ya na wutie ye woka se ye woka no wa anya sa no wo Francis Ayebra sabe ya papa kofo ba 2000 holocaust positive change no wo sa positive change fa ye adwuma na obi ahu se wo wasesa oman no na wasesa oman na nipa bi behwe wo so na won so adi wachi na watu sa na mo no Ghana nti ene ye wo ye momodi ase be Ghana akọ animu na enyanum no wana won so no mekoso nyina no awrade mo ho ban kaka covid no ska said yare no said nipa efiri mu no atoda woti ana ye ma show na say camera say nkwara nketwa no kwara na aweho yemu ye ho ban yi achinyedie no emfa nko ba bibia wo max no sha sabe anya nipa no na ma montina wo na ka ofitira sie ogbo ho ban first asana abobi ho fa enti no hohoro say said de bia make fitafo ska fitafo na ya na mewra ko there's still is to enjoy him while this you are no side ya fana ka no dititi say ahudidie no yan hye so na mo di ase de be adwuma na onyame emo my Ghana e do bibia ase da se na yibihia
yo mini rama you better was no mre a new dedication for this country say you be educate you no na nyina yesuasua de na yenya adwensachra ama oman Ghana enso akoso emfa baby out ni baby awo we Ghana de share we Ghana ni mo man no ho do entina wakoma mu sine papa wabe ne de a nyame atom safre no akono bebre ne kai a wentumi anye ni dream ni nyina ne enya embope ni dream of bridging the gap between the haves and the have not. That is what he wanted. And it seems like modern day democracy buying, and so no, the politicians are still making it without caring for the people in the country. We pray and hope say nyambe mama adwen sachra na wama oman ho do ni munipa ay wo mun ho do atama kuma so no maye ni menyina na kwan so na abobi abrabo. Be an impact, positive one to somebody out there. Show love and always be truthful. Yada your crew nyina se yetie for yada mwase yebana mwamba ni nyina ayekwa yada mwase da muchinu in on the radio and on YouTube and Facebook. Ujan subscriber ya bomode na subscriber to our YouTube channel. With our Facebook page, I didn't want to talk about it, but next week I'll talk about that. The issues with how with it. It's been hard, but we're doing this for now. You'll see us again next week. Be safe out there and wear your mask. Idinyamijamu.
Kanya bredo wafa timpawa we yes na winya